So it's great to be here at the annual conference and to take a couple of minutes away from all the hustle and bustle and just, I guess, go back to basics and reflect on what it means to actually be a treasurer. You know, I still get asked questions, what is a treasurer? What does that mean to you, Sarah?
It's a really good question, Naresh, and I get it asked a lot as well. I think really a treasurer is somebody that works in a non-financial organisation generally, sometimes in a bank, but they're all about the financial risk management. They may not be called a treasurer, they may work in the finance team, they may be an accountant, depends on scale and complexity, but it all comes back to financial risk management.
And how would you say they operate within their organisations?
Again, it depends quite a lot by organisation. Traditionally, they sat in something of an ivory tower and they were kind of geeks in the corner. These days, it's moved a long way from there, and they're very much strategic business partners. They spend a lot of time understanding what the business is about and how they can actually support the business in delivering the strategic objectives.
What are sort of some of the trends we see? Are they all sit in the centre? They're dispersed across the organisation? What's your experience around that?
Again, it depends. So we do see quite a lot sat in the centre, but if you've got a geographically diverse organisation perhaps, or one that's quite complex, then you may well have treasurers spread around the business. They can sit within the organisation. You might have regional treasury centres, regional service centres. It depends, and I think that's one of the joys of Treasury, is that everything, everywhere you go, is slightly different.
Okay. So you mentioned about payments. Can you just tell us a little bit about what other things that a treasurer, I know you said they don't all do the same thing, but some of the things that you'd expect to see in a treasury function?
Yeah, I guess there are 3 or 4 key things, and they're all about, as I say, it's financial risk management, but there's cash management, so making sure that the money is in the right place at the right time. Liquidity management, which is all about funding the company. And then there's the risk management, so that's managing foreign exchange risks, for example, perhaps commodity risks. These days, you know, inflation and interest rates are very current. They have to manage those sorts of risks as well.
Yeah, so you talked here about business partnering, which is talking to a lot of internal people as well. But presumably treasurers also speak to people external to their organisation.
They absolutely do, and it's part of the joy of the role, is that not only do you get a chance to understand exactly what's going on in the organisation, but you have the opportunity to interact with and learn from a wide range of people externally, whether that's banks, advisors, debt investors, rating agencies. There's a huge range of people out there, regulators, for example, that you can engage with.
And I guess it sounds like you have to learn how to communicate, possibly sometimes quite complex messages. Yeah,
I think they are. They're quite complex messages, and you have to be very clear and make sure that you understand the business and exactly what you're trying to achieve. And one of the tools that we provide from the ACT is the competency framework, which sets out the areas that it's very important or very helpful for a treasurer to understand and be up to speed with. And that's, you know, invaluable. Find it on the website.
And finally, why did you move into Treasury, and have you enjoyed it over your career?
Over the decades? Yes, I have. I've really enjoyed it. I moved into Treasury. I worked in finance, in accounting, and got bored, basically. And Treasury was fascinating for me because every day is a school day. Markets move very quickly, things are developing, you're in the centre of the organisation. So it's a very interesting place to be if you're curious and want to be engaged in a business.